Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this webinar on new business and underwriting process for insurance firms. This is Darshak from Newgen. I'll be your host and moderator for this webinar today. I have Shantanu Tiwari with me, who is the head of COE for insurance practice at Newgen, who is going to help us learn how Newgen's solution can provide a comprehensive, secure, and scalable option for all life insurance products. At the end of the presentation, we will have a question and answer session. We request you to type your questions in the questions window of GoToWebinar anytime during the session, and I'll take them up at the end of the session with our speaker. With that, over to you, Shantanu.
Thank you, Darshak, and good evening, everyone. So as Darshak was highlighting today, we are going to talk about how insurance organizations, specifically in the life insurance space, can streamline their new business and underwriting operations. So, while there has been a certain level of automation in place with most of the insurance companies, yet there are certain inherent manual activities and manual steps involved, due to which an end-to-end digital journey for a customer from the onboarding and from an underwriting perspective is typically missing. And that is what we would try to understand and address in the session today. So before I go into the specifics of the solution and talk about the challenges and how Newgen, with its sets of technology and solutions, is trying to overcome those challenges, I would just try to bring up a couple of slides just to set up the context of the industry as such. So while it has been a tough year for most of the industries, including insurance, what it has actually resulted in creating a lot of importance and a lot of awareness about insurance, specifically life insurance. And that is where we have seen an up of the demand of people wanting to take life insurance covers much more than what they were a couple of years back. So in that sense, if we look at the futuristic scenarios or the way the industry is going to grow, there is obviously a positive outlook. And as per the reports published, the life insurance industry in India is expected to grow at least by 12 to 15% annually over the next 3 to 5 years, which is a good sign. And it is not just about the growth of business. It is also expected that the major players are going to double their profits by digitizing a lot of their functions. So while there is a demand and there is going to be a increase in the business, at the same time, how do we translate that growth into actual profits is something which organizations would focus a lot more. And obviously digitizing the processes, streamlining the processes is going to be one of the key drivers to achieve this. Now, having said that, here are some key drivers which have been listed, which are going to drive the insurance industry going forward and help it achieve the projected numbers that we are talking about, or probably it can even achieve overachieve those. So technological innovation, obviously, that is something which has caught everybody's mind. Now organizations are aware that they need to be much more connected than what they were earlier. Obviously, they need to adhere and adapt to a working environment wherein they may not be always physical contacts or probably communications or touch outside the system. So there has to be a lot of innovation going forward in terms of how do we make the end-to-end processes or digitize end-to-end processes. Customer ownership, obviously a lot of things are going to go on to the customer also, because even the customer have become much more aware. They are also willing to leverage technology, willing to go much more digital in their communications with the insurance companies. Cost savings and higher returns, that is obviously going to be the key in terms of increased profits. Scale and network effects, obviously your networks needs to be much more efficient, as we have seen in the last year. With the lack of physical contact, the sales team or the agents were not able to leverage fully the demand in the market, and that is where a lot of change in the way of working has to happen for them. And speed and agility, I think that is going to be the key, because gone are the days when the customer is actually willing to wait for a week to get the policy document. Now they want it, probably, if not, in 2 days, maybe even instantly in certain scenario. So that leads to a very important question that, to achieve all those things, is there a need to streamline the existing process? And obviously, the answer to this is yes. Now, before we go into what has to be done or how the processes has to be streamlined, let's have a look at a conventional insurance landscape as to how, a typical customer onboarding journey or a new business underwriting process would work like. Obviously there has to be face-to-face insurance sales scenarios that were the norm till last year, before the digitization or focus on digital onboarding journey started. Then, obviously once you have the physical application form signed and collected from the customer, you had all those steps of scrutiny, wherein the physical files in many of the scenarios were being scrutinized. If not the physical files, even the steps to scrutinize the digital style files were still manual. Then, post the initial scrutiny, the files were being sent across to underwriters, who were then, following their own processes, which were not always end-to-end digitized. So, in terms of asking for more documents from the customer, referring it to internal teams for, feedback and for approvals, and probably, even declining and initiating the refund for the customer in case the application cannot be accepted. So while all these, functionalities and all these functions were there available to the underwriters in the current systems, yet there were a lot of manual supplemental activities that were required to be done, which had actually resulted in a lot of broken processes for the insurance companies. And once you have the broken processes, obviously it is going to lead to higher cycle time. It is obviously going to lead to higher cost and all those inherent challenges. So let's have a look at certain challenges which were in place, or which is very common in the new business operations of any insurance companies. Obviously, major aspect is the huge bundle of files and folders. Even if it is in a digitized format, it is so disconnected with the application that probably you have to go through those, you have to search for it, you have to identify the right set of documents, and it is not seamlessly connected with the journey. Then there is so much repetitive action at every step, either for the operations team who are working to get the customer onboarded, they have to, let's say, enter the same information in multiple systems. They have to perform the same set of activities twice, thrice, and it becomes even frustrating for the customer, wherein you always have to go back to them each and every second day to get certain additional information, instead of asking all the information in one go. So obviously it is not just resulting in frustrated customers, it is even adding to the delays. Reaching out to different teams, obviously that was again a challenge, because in order to assess the application correctly, there is a relevant scenario that you need to reach out, talk to other people, talk to your peers, talk to your seniors, refer it to cross-functional teams, and even probably raise and identify discrepancies in the file. Now all of this was not being tracked correctly. There were probably scenarios wherein organizations were not able to keep a track of how much time it is taking. Most of these communications were happening over emails, which is obviously not a very standardized way of doing it, because you then can't track it, and you cannot measure the right turnaround time in issuing a policy. Yeah, then when it comes to referring to cross-functional team, referring to external people like reinsurance, again all these processes were broken. These were done manually. So while the journey was happening on a system, but then the linked processes were all manual. So in a sense, the end-to-end journey was never completely digital, and a lot of things were even having been done outside the system. So for example, there was not everything which was being handled through your legacy policy administration platforms. There were complex Excel files which still needs to be referred to. Probably when it comes to allocating the cases to the right team, there was no automatic mechanism for it. Either there is somebody who is doing it manually, or probably the cases are being randomly allocated, because of which you don't actually get to use the right skills of the people, or probably you don't have always the right people working on the right case. And obviously because there were manual steps, there were things which were not done properly inside the system, there was a lot of maintenance cost associated with the existing systems as well, which resulted in a high IT maintenance budget. So probably if you have to consolidate these things, some of the examples or some of the major challenges would be around unmanageable file folders, decreasing customer satisfaction, data security concerns, obviously no status tracking, high costs, edit delays, and more complications. So these are a lot of challenges that any organization would typically face. Now, probably if we have to go to step-by-step challenges and see what typically happens at each of these steps, probably proposal scrutiny can be one example, wherein you have a lot of labor-intensive activities involved, because somebody has to actually go through all those cases, evaluate, check for a lot of information not being done through the system. So probably if they have to refer to some sort of a blacklist data, they will have to probably go to a system, search for that record inside it, and come back and stamp what is the output. Similarly, probably even the fraud evaluation was not completely system based, it was done manually. So obviously because of this, there were a lot of manual review being done on technological limitations. Even simple things like the correctness of the file and the information coming through it was also being evaluated and checked manually. Because of which each application was taking a lot of time. There were piling applications, there were added delays, obviously because you have data being required to be entered into multiple systems. It was a issue with regards to the security and the accessibility of data. And one of the major pain points for any operations team member was to work upon multiple systems. So because these systems were not properly connected to each other, they would have to log in into multiple applications, search for the files differently at each of these places, probably perform the task differently in all those different interfaces, take an output and probably stamp it back inside in a different system, which was absolutely cumbersome and time taking. Similarly, when it came to data and document capture, there was a lot of errors because of the manual entries that was being done. So once you capture the data manually, it results to a lot of issues with regards to not just the data but even the classification of the documents. Obviously, again, if you have a manual data entry process, it leads to additional time and delays. There are again customer data related regulation issues which are coming up off late very strictly. Searching the customer records into the customer database again is a time taking and cumbersome job, because you need to still ensure at the end of the day that you are not replicating an already existing customer. And then the non-uniformity of the way in which the data was coming was adding to the challenge of the team who is actually doing the task of data entry and document validation. Even bigger was the challenges which were faced by the underwriters, because as I said, not everything was being done through rule assessment through the system. There was still a lot of profiling and risk assessment that was required to be done outside in Excel sheets, through manual intelligence based evaluation. There was no standardized mechanisms wherein the system could actually inform the underwriters that what has to be the discrepancies that needs to be sent across, whether the counter offer relevant in this scenario, whether you need to refer it across to cross functional team. So this was everything that the underwriter has to do based on his own experience, and there was absolutely no system assistance available to him, which obviously, as I said, led to a lot of time in underwriting an application and resulted in cases getting piled up into the buckets of underwriters. Scattered information, again a very major challenge for underwriters, were the requirement to go through different systems to gather information, not just internal. They many a times they even have to go to external websites, probably do certain checks and validation externally, and then come back to the main system and probably take a decision, which obviously were resulting in overloaded underwriters, and which actually hampered their evaluation mechanisms because of the work overload that we're having. While these are all operational challenges, one of the major challenge again which the IT team was facing was in terms of how the underwriting mechanisms were set in the insurance companies. Many of these underwriting guidelines were either not present in the system at all, or if they were present, they were hard coded inside the application. So even probably if there is a change in regulation that comes up, or probably there is a change in the way a business guideline changes, everything was required to be coded back inside the application, which resulted in a longer lead time to make those changes, and obviously it impacted their own IT efficiencies. And that is where organizations were really suffering in terms of higher cost and higher time it took. And probably many a times, because of these legacy applications being on old technologies, it becomes very difficult to get the right resource it also to bring about all these changes. Again, when it came to policy issuance, because there were so many inherent manual steps involved as part of the journeys, the cycle time of issuing a policy was higher. And as I was mentioning, in today's scenarios, with the new generation, being much more aware about insurance, they don't expect to wait for a week to get a policy. Many a times they would want the policies to be issued instantly as soon as they have filled the application. So yeah, the risk assessment was taking a lot of time. It was become challenging to price the application correctly, because of the lack of correct set of information available. Payment authorization and related collection issues were also creating troubles in terms of issuing the policy faster. Then generating of a lot of communications was being done manually. So in this entire journey, many steps involve a lot of outbound communication and documents to be generated, which again was being done physically, managed physically. And there was no central communication and output generation mechanism through which this entire journey could have been much more streamlined, much more controlled by the system rather than being done manually. And at the end, for the customer, one of the major challenge was in terms of absolutely no visibility as to where his case is lying, whether his application is still under evaluation, whether it is rejected. So when it comes to transparency, and when it comes to visibility, it created a lot of opaque environment, which sort of reduce the customer satisfaction. So all these things eventually leads to the requirement of streamlining the new business and underwriting process. So what exactly a streamlined process would look like. I think an important aspect here is the starting of the process itself, in terms of getting the application or the proposal form for the customer. Now, the more options he is given, to initiate his application, the more happy he is. But at the same time, the way of working or the way of onboarding should remain constant, irrespective of the way an application form is coming. So either it is scanning, or it is through let's say portal, or it is through mobility, or probably agent going and collecting and filling it in front of the customer. Multiple channels obviously give the customer full spectrum of channels through which he can actually buy a policy. They can again be leveraged in a different manner, again depending upon who's the target audience. Probably they would be an older set of people who may not be very conversant with technology. So you still have a mechanism wherein an agent can go in front of them, probably, or maybe connect to them through a video call, and fill up the application digitally. Or probably even if they fill up the physical form, they can get it and probably initiate it uh, uh, through a mobile picture clicking then and there, instead of taking it back to the back office and then doing scanning, which obviously results in a lot of time. So this not just probably helps the customer, it also helps your sales team in terms of they being able to source the policies in a much easier way, which obviously results in their retention as well. Now, once you have got the application in, how digitally can you actually get the data from it becomes the next part. So obviously, if application has been initiated digitally, there should not be any requirement anywhere in the process to re-enter any set of information in the system. It should connect to the portal, it should connect to the mobility framework, get the information seamlessly, ingest the data in the document. And in case if it is being filled through a physical form, it should have the capability to auto extract the information, even uh, classify the documents correctly through intelligence, through inbuilt capabilities rather than somebody manually segregating the documents into relevant category. So the step of initiation and ingestion becomes digital, and then the system can even go ahead and identify the discrepancies in terms of what documents are missing, and probably raise the discrepancies also digitally. So probably there might be certain scenarios wherein somebody has to look at it and raise the discrepancies, but even the subsequent process in these scenarios wherein a discrepancy needs to be collected back from the customer becomes much more digital going forward, rather than probably asking them to either reply on an individual mailbox, which becomes very difficult to track. Obviously it can get lost as well, or probably asking them to visit a branch, which is the least preferred mechanism going forward. Once the data which is digitally come in can be analyzed for any issues automatically, and it can be accepted or it can be rejected for further thought process or further evaluation, whether you need to reach back to the customer or not. So the system performs a lot of these checks automatically. It helps in raising or identifying discrepancies, which makes the task of the operator much lesser or much easier. So probably in such scenarios, the operators can basically act as validators on the checks and balances that the system is doing automatically. So that is where probably all these validations which are done by the system acts as an assistance to the scrutiny team, who can then, based on the checks that the system performs, can take a call as to what is required from the customer, or what is the next step, whether the case needs to go into some sort of an investigation, whether you need to reach out to the customer with certain additional information to be asked, or probably it needs to be further validated, let's say with the fraud team or any secondary team. Then is obviously there being a rule engine in place, a lot of rules can get executed, wherein the system can decide the output or the way forward of moving the case, whether it is a straight through case wherein it can go ahead for issuance directly, or whether it can go to an underwriter for a right evaluation. Now again, the way of allocating the cases through the underwriters becomes through the system. You don't need to have somebody who's manually allocating those cases, or it need not be a random allocation also. Through these rules you can set up criteria which would define then what is the complexity of the case, and whether it requires an underwriting intervention, yes or not, and if yes, then what level of underwriting evaluation. So by doing this, you are actually leveraging the time and resource, the energy of the underwriter in a much optimized manner. Then obviously you can perform a lot of secondary action from the system itself, wherein the system can identify what's the type of loading that needs to be applied, or probably what's the decreased sum assured that needs to be given, and then once the underwriter approves it can even issue a counter offer. Similarly, the system can identify and show to the underwriters the various types of requirements that needs to be triggered for a case, either medical or non-medical. So the underwriter need not do this task manually. It can just validate the requirements which the system has raised, and if he agrees, he can go ahead and ask for those requirements. Similarly, the system may suggest to the underwriters the requirement of cross-functional team review, wherein based on the system suggestion, the underwriter can refer the case to one or multiple teams for feedback and evaluation. And then it can accept the case and issue the policy, or reject the case and initiate the refund processing automatically. So the decision taking at each step and the corresponding documents are visible. There is a complete visibility. The system generates a lot of communications based on system triggers on the actions which either the system or the user is taking, and communicates it accordingly to the customer or to the agent as to what has to be done, whether in terms of any additional document needs to be required, or whether it's just an intimation informing that the policy application has been accepted or rejected. So eventually, what do we achieve out of this? No hassles of past replacement. I think this is very critical, because at the end of the day, one of the major challenge which any insurance organization is currently facing is the presence of legacy policy administration systems, specifically in the life insurance space. So while these systems are very robust, they are very good, and they have been in place for a long time, but then in the changing market scenarios, wherein the thrust is a lot more digital, a lot more connected, these systems are not serving the purpose, or these were not meant to serve this purpose. So they were meant for a different purpose which they have served. So probably, but then having said that, it is not very easy to replace a legacy application purely because of the fact that it stores huge amount of data and stores it in a manner, which is difficult to extract and transport to a different system. So hence organizations probably don't want to get into hassles of replacing a plus, and that is where an application like Newgen becomes very relevant, wherein instead of going into the scenario of a past replacement, it can be supplemented with a digital layer of Newgen on top, wherein the entire processing in the front end becomes that of Newgen, and PaaS is just moved to the background as a data store, and the users need not require to work on it anymore. Obviously, it still needs to store the data. The Newgen layer still needs to fetch information from it, but at the end of the day, it becomes more of a data storage system rather than a transaction system. And that is where organizations get a much intuitive interface, not just internally but even for external parties. For example, you can even extend the interface in some form of the other to your sales team, for doing a lot of activities digitally on it. Probably even include customers on it to provide information and to get the statuses real time. And probably even the external teams like a reinsurance, wherein the way the information exchange happens with the reinsurance can be much more digital. Unified front end with an agile layer. So this is eventually what we want to achieve. It is not just having an agile and an intuitive layer at the top, but it is even about this being the unified layer. So when I say unified, it solves the problem of the user going into multiple systems. So this one interface becomes the common point of interaction between system and the user, and whatever set of information needs to pass on or be fetched from any third party or external system would be done at the back end. So the user is not required any further to go into multiple systems and face the hassles of logging separately or probably getting used to different interfaces. Integration, again, that is the key aspect, because this being a layering or a stitching system, it has to have the capabilities to easily integrate with different types of systems. So be it legacy application based on mainframe technologies, or be it integrating with service based systems. So that is where the integration capability through multiple mechanisms actually help. Closed loop automation, I think this is the critical part of it, and this is the key, because while there has always been focus on automating a lot of operational activities, yet as I was mentioning earlier, there are still a lot of things which are done manually. So in that sense, the loop of process is never closed digitally end to end. So a case an example can be when you have to reach out back to the customer to collect any information. Now, this is something which is not controlled or tracked through the system. It typically goes into mail, personal to person email boxes. So probably somebody in the operations team writes a mail to the customer asking for information, which then comes back to his personal email box, which is then uploaded into the system. So there is absolutely no mechanism through which you can efficiently track as to when the information was raised, when it came back, how much time it took, and whether it was within the published SLA. So that is where closed loop automation is very critical, not just from a correct tracking and SLA perspective, but even ensuring that there is no loss of information. And eventually, a digitally connected environment is what would be the need of the hour. So when we say a digitally connected environment, obviously we can try to understand it with three scenarios. One of the scenarios within underwriting can be generation of a counter offer. Now, as you were mentioning, while evaluation of the case, whenever the customer is raising a counter offer, again it follows a similar mechanism wherein the underwriter would then pull out the email of the customer, call him up, and send a email personally from his own email box asking him to acknowledge probably the counter offer. Again, he would be giving them a separate link to make the payment or asking them to provide check. Now, this is something which create hassles for the customer and also increases the cycle time. So probably a truly digital scenario can be wherein you can actually record the response from the customer digitally in minimum time. So probably once you have identified the need for a counter offer, system itself can generate an email and an SMS from where the customer can understand the counter offer. Probably they can get into a live chat to understand the details wherever required, and they can supplement they can provide the supplemental information, give the acceptance and make the payment digitally through that communication itself without the need for any secondary communication. And once that is done, that acceptance should be sensed by the system directly instead of landing into the mailbox of the underwriter and then he recording it back inside the system. So that is where a digitally connected environment would ideally work, wherein once a counter offer has been raised, the response and the recording of it and the payment related to it is truly digital without the need for any manual intervention whatsoever. A similar example can be raising and fulfilling requirements. So, while the course of evaluation, the underwriter may want to ask for additional information as well as, probably get the medicals done from the customer. So how, digitally connected can be this entire journey? How seamlessly that can the customer provide the information? How seamlessly can his medicals be done? And the information from the medicals, how, digitally and how quickly can it come back from your partners, to be ingested automatically inside the system without the need to enter it, because either the underwriters would uh, uh, enter it, or probably it would be evaluated outside the system by the underwriters. So if the medical results come in a digitally provided manner, the system can execute rules on top of it and can give the information to an underwriter as to what has to be a decision on the case basis the rules that get executed on the medical records. So the third scenarios can be the approval itself, wherein once a case requires the approval from a higher authority, we don't expect somebody like a chief underwriter to be sitting on the system approving the case. Rather, in such a scenario, instead of asking him to approve it on an email, there can be a scenario wherein he can be notified through a system app, mobile app itself, wherein the chief underwriter can open the case on his mobile app, review the case, and just on a click of a button provides his decision on the case. Similarly, there should be functionalities wherein the case should be digitally moved across to multiple teams if required, again in parallel, so that simultaneously multiple people can work, multiple people can review, and multiple people can provide their feedback to the primary underwriter who's working on the case. So these are basically all the things which are actually helping in connecting, or actually helping in digitally connecting the various manual aspects of the process, which eventually leads to a slowdown of the process or leads to higher cycle time, because of which probably you, even with the systems in place, you don't actually get to have a digitally connected onboarding journey. Now, what are typically the value additions? If we have to look at the various value additions at a step-by-step level, I think from the perspective of data and document capture, you obviously should have just one single screen wherein you should have all the data. You need not required to go to any secondary system to get any output. That output should come on this single unified interface. To the maximum intent, there should be data auto ingestion with the need to minimally enter only that data which is absolutely required. Otherwise everything should be ingested through system itself. Automated data validations and verifications. So as in when wherever you need to validate certain information, that should be to the extent done by the system instead of somebody doing it manually by looking at the information on the screen, because as I said, that is more error prone and that may result to certain checks being missed. Auto extraction of information from PDF. So not just the application PDF, any supporting documents or any supporting PDF that comes through which can be extracted can be used to extract data which can be eventually used in the process. Auto document classification. I think this is again a very critical task, because a lot of organizations typically rely on manual activities to classify the document into right category. Rather, the intelligent way, or the probably the digital way of doing it, should be the system should be able to identify the documents based on the document pattern, and accordingly move it into a right category without the need of somebody manually classifying those documents. And obviously the reduction in operational cost with the elimination of paper documents and data silos. So because you get everything on one screen, you get everything digitized, the outputs are mostly populated by the system, and hence the time taken to capture a data into document is much faster. Application scrutiny, again, I think this should be much more system controlled and system driven. So all the checks with regards to AML, fraud, politically exposed, OFAC, did you, blacklist, all of them should be done by the system. The outputs should be available for the the evaluator or the quality check team to view, and accordingly take a decision on the case. Probably you can have efficient fraud check rules in place, and you can use a lot of data which is available through social networks and geographical data to probably have the fraud rules streamlined to a much higher accuracy, because you may want to identify and check the probability of a fraud upfront before you go ahead and issue the policy and then probably face a claim. Digital KYC, the system gives you a facility to connect with the KYC database and do a KYC automatically, and then probably any additional set of checks and validations that needs to be done with regards to third party systems can be done by automatically connecting to it. So that is where the application scrutiny is much more digital, requires minimal human intervention, and can be much faster. The third user set is obviously underwriter, and again the availability of information to underwriter in a consolidated manner is the key of an effective underwriting. So all the information that is required to an underwriter, and only the information that is required to underwriter, should be available to him. So probably the information which is not relevant from him is not his concern. So he should be able to see on a single screen uh, now the information which is relevant from an underwriting decision making, which would be a consolidation of information identified by the system through underwriting rules. It would be the relevant information from the application form, and it would be a relevant information from any internal or external system. So all those things are collated and presented in one single underwriting summary view, or on the underwriting workbench to the underwriter, and he's even assisted with system decisioning, in the sense that what probably can be the requirements that needs to be raised, whether there is a need for a medical to be done, what has to be a system decision in this case, whether a counter offer needs to be triggered. So all those things is basically helping underwriter understand the case background much faster and take a more informed decision than what he was doing earlier. So this becomes a key task to do that. Rule engine, I think this is more from a system efficiency and maintainability standpoint, because a lot of these checks and validations are being required to be done in the system. There has to be a mechanism in which they can be defined and maintained in a very maintainable manner, and for that there can be a central rule engine repository through which you can define all the different types of proposal scrutiny rules, underwriting rules, requirement rules, so on and so forth. And this central rule repository can then be exposed to any system, not just the Newgen front end, but it can even be exposed by any third party portal that exists with the organizations already to execute rules from it. It can integrate, or it can provide services which can be used by external portals, external mobile apps, or any third party external application to call up the rules and get the output back. At the end of the day, it is closely connected obviously with the Newgen front end, and all the outputs and all the validations which we have been talking about in the previous slide. Now this becomes the central repository for everything. And obviously, without saying, it has an interface through which it can be defined and maintained much more by the business users themselves, rather than having a dependency on IT to define and make changes in the rule, because that is what takes a lot of time for IT, and it also requires a lot of vendor dependency if you don't have a mechanism wherein business can define and maintain these rules. Because then obviously if those rules are coded inside the system, you need to go back to your vendor systems or vendor service provider and ask them to make the changes, which is time taking and cost intensive. So that is where the rule engine plays a very key role. And obviously the policy issuance. Now that is again very important, that how do we not just the policy issuance, for that matter, any communication, how do we standardize it, and how do we centralize it? So you know any communication that is required to be done in this journey, or any in document that requires to be generated in this journey, including the policy issuance, can be centrally maintained and defined through the output management layer of the system. So you can have all those templates maintained and created inside the template repositories. You can define the triggers from the process, with regards to what all communications has to go automatically, what are the triggers for it. So at no point of time, nobody needs to, maintain and trigger these documents separately outside the system. So, and obviously you can within the output management layer, you can define the various modes of deliveries of these communications, including the policy document or the policy kit. So in terms of value adds to the system, um, it helps to streamline or automate the process. Because this is while we talk about streamlining and automating, again, one of the key aspects what I would like to add here is the closed loop automation that we have been stressing upon. So while there have been piecemeal automations done to perform or automate a certain part of the entire underwriting journey, yet having it all connected end to end in one single layer is what something is which is missing. And that is where even with all those automations in place, organizations have not been able to leverage the benefits, because at the end of the day you still need to get into a lot of manual hassles to do a lot of things, uh, which do not seamlessly get managed end to end in one common system. Seamless integration with third-party administrations, third-party systems, including policy administration, CRM, and other, which is again I think very critical, because that is what we are trying to achieve. Stitching all these siloed applications and creating a uniform working environment for the team. Omni-channel personalized engagement across all channels, including web, chat. So yes, so as much as you are bringing in the external parties into the journey, the more options should be available to them. So once you probably want to digitally connect your customers, you should give them the means wherein they can connect in this journey through multiple means, either through a web portal, or through a mobile, or through a chat, or probably even in person for that matter. Dashboards, I think that is again very critical, because at the end of the day, whatever we are trying to do, we need to analyze as to what are the benefits that we are getting. And that is where the business activity monitoring component within the system, which gives different types of efficiency reports, different types of process KPI reports, give a lot of visibility, which is very critical for the senior management, and which is typically missing. So you don't get to see the pictures accurately, but with such a dashboard, you can actually get not just a high level information, but you can even drill it down into individual case level also if required. And then obviously meet the regulatory as well as the business needs, or rather the changing business needs through the configurability of the platform. So probably any change that requires to be done either because of a regulatory compliance or because of business compulsions can be quickly done and configured inside the system. So eventually what the solution would do and what the insurers will achieve is something which is the key here. So obviously the system is looking at a strong framework to build solutions. Eventually whatever is being built using a low code application development layer, which makes the entire development and or rather the alignment of the application with the organization much faster. And the same time, because this being a framework, it can be going forward extended across to other business functions as well. So probably the same framework can then be used to automate related processes like claims or servicing. What the insurance companies achieve, obviously they get because it is not just about the framework, it is also about the solution, a pre-built solution which adheres to the best practices based on Newgen's global experience, probably they get to see a lot of adoption of digital at the end of various stakeholders. So they basically get to achieve an end-to-end automation model. Highly configurable transformation engine, I think that is what the solution actually helps to do. It enables organization to bring in more control within themselves, pass on a lot of control to the business team, and even within IT, it helps to reduce the dependency on external vendors. And that is where the unified platform actually uh, helps the insurers to reduce their landscape complexity, reduce the dependencies on a lot of external parties. Task oriented automation solutions. So obviously, you can specifically define the task and activities for different user groups. You can define rules for it, and then you can also track it. So that is where it is not just about defining what has to be done by a specific user group, but also to see whether you are actually achieving the efficiencies what has been aimed for. And that is where you probably would get a lot of increased productivity from your workforce. Intuitive user interface, I think this is again very critical, because as I said, nowadays, organize to get the most efficient output from the users, they need to have all the information presented to them in a manner which is easy to understand, easy to comprehend. And probably this can be done by organizing the interfaces in a much more user friendly manner. And it is not just about making them user friendly, it is also about how do we bring about changes. So in that, so the user experience, it becomes the key output that the insurers achieve. And obviously, the last and the foremost is how the system holds true in the future. So because this framework comes with inbuilt with a lot of futuristic technologies, or what is the need of the hour in terms of support related to robotic process automation, support related to inbuilt AI and ML capabilities. So not just you are just probably automating or probably addressing the immediate problem of achieving an end-to-end automation, but then the system is future ready. It brings in all those technologies which is going to be the need of the hour in the near future. And that is where the organization need not probably invest into separate peripheral systems again, because the tool itself would provide a lot of inherent capability within itself. Now finally, to supplement just a couple of case studies in the last, wherein we have done similar work, and we have been able to achieve a lot of value adds. So one obviously is an example of one of the leading life insurance firms in India, where obviously one of the major challenge was the dependency on external vendors. So their incumbent application was basically requiring a very high maintenance cost. Every change that was required to be done in regards to underwriting or new business, they had to always go back to the vendor, which was obviously giving them huge bills of maintenance, and that is where the cost of ownership was very high. That is where they identified, or they selected Newgen as a partner. And then the entire journey for them has been much more smoother now. They have been able to maintain a lot of rules themselves. Even the underwriting team have taken ownership of a lot of business rules, and they do it themselves. So thereby they have reduced dependency on the external vendors. Another insurance company, which is again one of the leading insurance companies in India, has been able to streamline their entire way of working by supplementing their legacy policy application, which was Life Asia, with the Newgen layer on top of it. So probably the challenges which they were facing with regards to old interfaces, a lot of things getting hard coded inside. Again, the older mainframe based system, a lot of things which were being done outside, which because it was not being something that can be catered to by the system, and hence there were a lot of manual dependencies and process inefficiencies which were overcome with implementing an end-to-end Newgen layer. So this is what they've been able to achieve with Newgen. So with this, I think I would basically request the audience to share any questions. I would be open to any questions or to answer them. Yeah. So Darshak, if you get any questions, please let me know. Yeah.
Thank you, Shantanu. So far I have not received any question. I'm just waiting for the same.
Okay.
To all the attendees, if you have any question, please let us know. Post them through questions window and we'll be happy to answer. Shantanu, it looks like we don't have any question for today.
Oh, that's very surprising, but anyway. Okay.
So I think we can end it here, Shantanu, in that case.
Sure.
Thank you very much for giving us time, helping all the audience with such insightful presentation. And I thank everyone who participated today and stayed with us during this session. Wish you all a very good day ahead. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.